Hello and welcome to another episode. I am Brian, the Unskilled Commander. Really excited to get back into it. I haven't recorded for a while, at least full games rather. And last weekend I just went to Baltimore's Command Fest. We got this cool playmat out of it, along with some pre-release kits for the Lord of the Rings set. Had a great time with my friend Dell, who is also a creator. He does a lot of pack openings and stuff. His page is listed in the suggested magic creators on my main homepage if you'd like to go check that out and give him a sub. I know he'd appreciate it. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the game, and hopefully throughout I can tell you about the trip and about these decks because this is a new situation. So over here, first of all, we've got Azusa, Rin Seri, Mahur, Mahur, Uruk High Captain, and Kediss Emberclaw Familiar. Azusa is going to go first, draw a card, play a forest, no one drops, so we will pass. Going to play Manor Gate, declaring red. That comes in tapped, and I will pass. We're going to play an Evolving Wilds and crack that for a mountain. Now, part of why these decks are interesting is because, in an effort to make content for you guys, I need consistently new decks because after a little while, the rotations, because regardless of how many I have, the rotation is going to start to get to the point where, oh, this setup is three of the same decks and one different. While that is a new iteration of the decks, it's, three decks you've already seen. And then, of course, it's also a matter of keeping the decks that you've seen spaced out. I don't want to play three games with, Optimus Prime and then another set right after it also with Optimus Prime. You want to spread them out and give you guys something visually and mechanically different to watch. But I'm not rich, so I can't keep making decks, especially buying all the good cards and stuff. To be fair, I have this, a three-row card box that's filled with cards from all the different sets I've been buying and playing for the last few years, and I never use them. Like there's good cards in there, there's fun, interesting cards in there, but they're not optimized cards really. So it's like some of them end up in decks, and then I have to buy more online. So the point was, I wanted to just make some decks solely off of what I owned already. Now that's going to make these decks not very good, and they won't be very good when put against the other decks that do have some optimization, regardless of what level of optimization. So it's going to be one of those things where I'll probably try and do that every once in a while, where it's four decks just built off of what I had and whatever commanders I owned, or maybe a new commander that I may have pulled from a random pack or something. And that will be their own little bracket of decks that can go against each other while I decide if I like them. Because Rin Seri, it's probably the only, in fact, it's probably the only token deck that I've ever built that actually makes tokens from what I've seen. But, the Azusa, the Kediss is a really weird, risky style of construction. There's no way it's going to work, but I know in my heart that there's a way to make it work. And then Mahur over here is an orc army, with Amass, but Amass is only just making one big creature. It's not making actual army. So it's super easy to destroy. So I've never really been into the Amass mechanic that much. So there's no telling if these are even going to last, So there's no point in dumping money into them until I've played them a bunch of times and seen if they're fun. And if they're fun, then I can start to focus on making them better and making them equal to the decks I currently have and put them into the official rotation. We will play a mountain over here for Kediss, tapping it for an expedition map, and then pass. Play another forest. Also, there's a part of the experimentation is these two decks are monocolors. My friend Roy was mentioning how he was trying to go through and make a monocolor deck for each of the colors. And I started to be like, well, I'm almost there, but turns out I'm actually not. I have a mono white, a mono blue, and two mono blacks. But even though green is probably one of my favorite colors, I never made a mono green deck that lasted. And I never made a mono red deck at all. So this is another little thought experiment with learning Magic and learning how to use it. This is going to be very obvious. It's just big dumb monsters. But the way I'm doing it is a little different. I'm going to tap 2 and enchant this land with Fertile Ground. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any color. That's all I can do here. We're gonna pass. Now, why that's different is because of Azusa. It's like she lets you play extra lands on your turn, and she's only a 3-drop, so it's easy to get her out. And hopefully, it's part of the ramp. It's like all about ramping really fast to get just a ton, like double-digit lands out, and then start dropping all the big creatures that have trample. But no Eldrazi, which is not what most people do when they do play big dumb green. They always throw in Eldrazi. But it's a matter of how well I did it and with what I had, and if the mana ramp spells are the right way, it's the whole thing. So it'll probably end up being a keeper once it gets tweaked, but who knows? We're coming over here to Ridden Seri. We're going to untap, upkeep, draw. We'll play Carpulsan Forest. We're going to tap both of these to play an Arcane Signet. And we have no 1-drops, so we will pass. Ridden Seri, of course, being the obvious one where it's just, I mean, there's only so many ways to make it, I assume. I mean, I guess I'm assuming so. That probably there's tons of ways, but it's just play it, play a bunch of cat and or dog creatures making the opposite tokens, and then just swinging with a really big board state, which is cool because I've never really successfully gotten a token deck to work. So I would like that to work and to do it that way. That'd be fun. Plus, I never had Ridden Seri until that Secret Lair came out, and I just thought it was really funny, the campy, cartoony artwork, and plus there was a couple other cards that I liked in that set. So I was like, oh, well, now I will make it if I get this, this card. Over here, we're going to untap, upkeep, draw. We're going to play a Swamp for Maher. We're going to tap one of each and play Maher. Uruk, High Captain. It's a 2/2 with Menace. If one or more +1/+1 counters will be put on an army, goblin, or orc you control, that many +1 get put on it. So it's really obviously just a counters deck. And as I said, the whole amass thing is weird because there's like 8 cards out of this set, the Lord of the Rings set, that have amass in these colors that would be good in this deck, but obviously I don't have them. And I'm not going to go buy them anytime soon because it's not going to be there's not going to be a ton of amassing as it should. But even if I do, all it does is make one big creature, and all you got to do is blow it up, and I can't get it back because it's a token. So I'm not really sure how viable amass is as the mechanic and how useful it can be, but it's the +1/+1 counters on it, and I have some like equipment in here to try and give the army trample or like unblockable. So it's not meant to be like an equipment deck, but it's designed to try and get that one big creature through and just do, combat damage. We're going to go ahead and pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. I'll play a mountain for turn, tap it for a soul ring, tapping the soul ring to crack the expedition map, and search your library for a land card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. So I will just go and get a mountain and put it in my hand and shuffle. I have 1 mana left with nothing I can do, or can I? Nope. So with this deck, it's really going to be bad. But the whole point is, Kediss, I'll wait until I can play it. I'll wait until I play it on next turn, and then I'll read it to you and explain what it's supposed to do. You're going to think it's stupid, but I know there's a way to make it work. I just don't know what it is, but I bet you can do it, so I'm going to pass. Untap, upkeep, draw, play a forest for turn. I will tap 1, 2, 3 to play Azusa, Lost but Seeking. You may play 2 additional lands on each of your turns. So I will do so. Well, I only have 1, but I will play. Unfortunately, there's nothing else I can play for 2 mana, and that's where, it kind of stalls out. It's like I need to get a bunch of lands into my hand, but most of my mana ramp, because of playing it, or because of deck building to be more streamlined, I realized after the fact, after I built it and sleeved it, was that the mana ramp I chose puts the lands onto the battlefield. They don't put them into your hand. So it's kind of like goes around Azusa, and she's almost not necessary. So I need to figure out better card draw and more lands into your hand so you can dump them that way. Getting them on the battlefield is, of course, where you want them, so it's a bad thing. But it kind of goes around the whole point of why I chose her as one of the commanders. Plus, it's this beautiful Secret Lair altar that I got. Not altar, but variation. And I just wanted to use that. And having a low-cost commander is always going to be better in Commander. Is like the faster you can play your Commander, and the easier it is to play it a couple more times if it gets blown up, the better. We're going to pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Going to play Iganjo, Seat of the Empire. The legendary land just taps for white and has some other things you can do with it. But I will go ahead and tap white. Tap this for colorless, actually. Red and green, or green and red, doesn't matter. Play Rin and Seri, inseparable. It's a 4/4. Whenever you cast a dog spell, create a 1 green cat token. And whenever you cast a cat spell, create a 1/1 white dog token. You can pay green, red, and white, tap it, and then it deals damage to any target equal to the number of dogs, and you gain life equal to the number of cats. Really, really good utility, fun commander. Because you can, get a bunch of cats and dogs out. Suddenly you can do damage and gain a bunch of life, and also have a bunch of creatures to swing with. We will pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Going to play a swamp for turn. Tapping 2 to play Crashing Drawbridge. 0/4 Defender. You can tap it to give creatures you control haste until end of turn. I have Maher. I don't know how you're supposed to say that, honestly. Maher is just funny to me. Maher or something like that, or I don't know, because it's got the little squiggle tilde over the U, I don't know. But regardless, whatever this idiot is called, he's got menace, which means he can hit anybody. So there's nobody's a threat in any capacity, but we're going to go ahead and just swing directly in front of us. 2 damage, and that is to Commander, because we're talking many times over the last few episodes about making sure that we are more aggressive with attacking and stuff to keep the games moving. Pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Play a mountain for turn. Going to tap 1, 2, and 3 to play Command Sphere. I'm going to tap all 3 to play Hall of Triumph, declaring red. So creatures I control of the chosen color get +1/+1, and I will pass. I could have played my commander, but no one's open, so it's like I'm going to have to wait until I can get through with him for his abilities to kick in and make it worthwhile. So might as well ramp up and start setting the stage, even if I take a little damage in the intro. So we'll untap, upkeep, draw, play a land for turn that I just drew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 mana. We will tap all 6 of it to play Calonian Twingrove. His power and toughness are equal to the number of forests you control. So as you can imagine, that can get out of hand fast. It's only 5 because while I have 6 mana, it's only 5 forests. And then when he enters the battlefield, you put a green Treefolk Warrior creature token with the exact same thing. Yeah, Treefolk token, and he is also a 5/5. Pass turn. Well, wait a second. I could attack. So sure, Azusa will attack you for 1. That's 1 damage, but I don't think the commander damage is going to matter on Azusa. So now we'll pass. Obviously, big stompy creatures is pulling away pretty early, which is kind of what it's supposed to do with the ramp, so we'll see. I will play a Rogue's Passage, green, and then 2 others to play Pride Sovereign. It's a 2/2. It says Pride Sovereign gets +1/+1 for each other cat you control. Now, I played a cat, so now I'm going to get a dog token. There is my horrible little doggo token. And he's getting +1/+1 because there is a cat in there. So this is a 3/3, this is a 4/4, and this is a 1/1. I should go to combat. You attacked me. I can't get through your defender, but I can destroy it if you block with it, and that would get rid of your potential haste. So we're going to move to combat and swing a 4/4 commander at you. As much as I hate to, lose the potential for giving things haste, I don't want 4 commander right off the bat, so I'm going to block with that. It's destroyed. That's all we can do over here. We're going to pass. One of the nice things about most of these decks is they really shouldn't have too many upkeep and end step, triggers and stuff. So we're going to untap, upkeep, draw. We're going to play Karn's Bastion, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 to play Ugluk of the White Hand. It's a 3/3. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on it. If that creature was a goblin or orc, put two +1/+1 counters on it. Okay, so we have a 2/2 with menace, but they do have two creatures and could definitely kill it. You don't have anything, so we're going to send 2 damage over at you. And now you have 2 commander damage, which could theoretically be, on him. Might be something, I don't know. But again, no end step triggers. Nice, we passed turn. We're ramping up very nicely over here as well, which is something I like to see. We're going to play a mountain for turn, and we will go ahead and tap 2 to play Kediss, Emberclaw Familiar. He is a 1/1. It says whenever a commander you control deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent. And you can partner it with someone. So the entire insanity of this idea is to get Kediss through on anybody and then, do the same damage to everybody else. Now, the commander damage is only going to be on the person that actually gets hit. The other 2 bonus damages, if you want to call them or whatever, that's not commander damage. But the point is, it's not going to be a massive equipment deck either, because that's too obvious. And of course, probably too, smart. That's how you probably should do it, obviously, if you're going to have just him by himself. But what I wanted to do is I still believe, the way I did my Rogarth the Kelith, I still think you should be able to do it with buff spells, like instants, instead of just using equipment. Because everybody uses equipment. It's all about, all the swords and all the blah, blah, blah. And it gets, A, that gets pricey, and B, it's just so common, so everybody does it. Like even in my Kelmet deck, which I love, that's what it ended up being. It's just, okay, I got rid of like most of the cats that I put in it just so I could put all the swords in and all the better equipments, which is great, that's fine, but I don't want 15 decks that are all just commander damage off of equipment. So the idea is to give a couple equipments that give Kediss trample or flying or unblockable, and then swing him in somebody, and then play a whole bunch of burn spells, or not burn spells, but buff spells all at once. Like dump all your mana and play like, oh, okay, I'm going to swing at you for like 3 damage that's unblockable. Okay. Well, in response, bam, now it's a 13/13. You take 13 commander, everybody else takes 13 damage too. Now, the thing is, you can't do that again on your next turn unless you have really good card draw, and that's the part of, red burn and red buff like that, it runs out of gas real quick. So that's the downfall. But I just know that if you tweak it just right, there should be a sweet spot where it works. Not every time by any means, but like it works consistently. Like it actually does a real, like you should be hitting everybody for 20, 30 damage before you die, and maybe killing one person with commander. You know what I mean? That's the goal. Nowhere near going to be there right now, but that's how I want to get it to. Plus, it's only a 2-drop commander, so it gets blown up a couple times. I can still play it like 3, it gets blown up 3 different times. It's still not that expensive. But that's really all we can do right now. I don't have any good equipments right now. And he's only a 2/2 thanks to this buff. So we're going to go ahead and pass. We're going to untap, upkeep, draw. Okay. Play a forest for turn that I drew. And it's like, can I get some of the, spells that actually give me card draw? Where's the mana ramp? Well, we'll tap 3 for Bonder's Ornament, get some card draw in at least. And we can actually utilize it. So we will go ahead and tap for 1, 2, 3, 4, and tap Bonder's Ornament. I draw a card. It is a forest, and I can play another forest thanks to her ability. So that was at least useful, and, shows you the benefit of Bonder's Ornament, because nobody else has one out yet. Although all of these decks, well, no, not. They're in the monocolor decks because of that, because it's also card draw. It's just not out over there. But these, yeah, so all 4 of these decks have one. Unlike, reality. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are now 7/7s. No trample or anything, but they're pretty big. So we want to start swinging. We're definitely going to swing one at you because you clearly want your commander. You're going to, if you could block with it. And we're also going to send this over at You kitty kitty. No trample, so we'll block with the doggo. I really don't want to take 7 damage over there, because that's going to be the downfall of Kediss, because there's not even that many creatures in the deck, so it really doesn't have too much for blocking. I had to readjust at the end of building the deck itself to try and put a couple token, cards in there that make like, oh, make 3 goblins or whatever, and then a couple creatures to try and compensate, because, you're just going to die too fast if that's the only creature. Have enough mana, of course, to replay them with and have like at least 3 mana left to do something else, but I don't like that idea. I'm gonna take the risk. I'm gonna take 7. All right, that's all there is. We're gonna pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Green, white, and one other to play. Miri, Weatherlight Duelists. 3/2 with first strike. Whenever Duelist attacks, each opponent can't block with more than one creature this combat, and as long as it's tapped, no more than one creature can attack you each combat. I played a cat, so I get a doggo. I have 2 mana open. I'm going to go ahead and go to combat. I'm going to swing it right in Seri at you because you just swung at me with a 7/7, and I don't like that. Now the question is, do you block? It's only 4 damage, and you're at 40 life. I think you'll take 1, 2, 3, 4. No, oh, sorry. No, that's this one. Never mind. I can, actually, though, I will exert him. That's interesting. Now, whenever you cast, so it's only on cast, but I'm going to tap this for white and exert Prize Sovereign to create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. And haha, I have these really awesome thick plastic tokens I got from the Command Fest. Got them signed by the artist and everything, so they're pretty cool. Obviously, that's a cat from I don't know if that's Kiki's Delivery Service but it's one of those from that genre of anime movie. And it is in fact a 1/1 lifelink, so that's cool. How many do I make though? I make 2. So there's 2 of them. So the good news is I have a lot of blockers. I will go ahead and pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn, play a swamp, tapping all 5, play a Gilded Lotus, which taps for 3 mana of any one color. We'll tap the Gilded Lotus for 3 red, let's say, and play Haunted Cloak. Equipped creature would have Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. I don't have anything to put it on yet anyway, because of course I'm not getting any of the Amass cards. But like I said, I ended up only really having probably half the Amass cards that are in these colors. So there's probably only like, I don't know, 6, 7 in the deck. So the likelihood of me getting them and, amassing a whole bunch is kind of low. That's why I need those other like 7 or 8 that are out there for black and red. But we'll see. Again, I'm still not sold on the Amass, but when I got these cards, I was like, well, that still seems fun. And these guys, especially, they're definitely really good with the counters and stuff. So I thought it might be a fun way to try it. So we could attack someone, and I guess we have to. Not have to, but we have Menace, so we can go at either one of these. We're going to go at you because you're getting real big over there. And that is 2 Commander. To you, my goodness. He's putting commanders everywhere. And then we're going to pass. So poor Kediss better get something. He did not. Another mountain. We'll tap 1, 2, 3 to play Hanoware Garrison. It's a 2/3. Whenever it attacks, you can put 2 1/1 red human creature tokens tapped and attacking as well. So like I said, that's kind of a way to try and get some extra creatures for blockers and stuff. All right, well, we'll do this then. We're going to tap a red to expedite. Target creature gains haste until end of turn, and I draw a card. So I draw a card. Cool, another land. That doesn't help. But we're going to go ahead and go to combat, swing him at you at 2/3. You have a 1/2. But it does make 2 soldiers tapped and attacking. And there's 2 of them. My beautiful art, because I'm not going to waste time trying to draw something decent. Maybe if I was with friends and you're goofing around, well, they're taking their turns, but we don't have time for that, fool. All right. So what do you got? You've got 4 damage coming at you. Do you want to take it? So she will block one of the soldiers, of course, to kill that. No, it doesn't. But 3 will get through. 1, 2, 3. All right. Oh, wait, the buff. I almost forgot. So this is actually a 3, 4, and these are 2 twos. No, wait, what does it make? Yeah, they're red humans, so red creatures. Awesome. So she will not do that. We were at 34. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're going to take 7 damage. That's kind of a lot and kind of awesome. Way to go, Hall of Triumph. We're going to pass. But Lay Crackback is not going to be awesome. So we're going to untap all these guys, draw for turn. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Cool, this is something I wanted to play. So we will play this. I just drew it. For a full 9. Meogian of Life's Web. It's an 8/8. That's when it comes into play, or it comes into play with a divinity counter on it if you played it from your hand. It's indestructible as long as it has a divinity counter on it, and remove the counter from it and put any number of creature cards from your hand into play. Ooh, that does sound fun. But I've only got one, so it's not worth it. Again, that's where you need the card draw. You need to draw a whole bunch and then be like, ooh, I'm taking that out. Here's everybody. I don't really have anything to denote that it's got the counter on it, so we'll try and worry about that later. We're going to move to combat, though. We're absolutely going to swing both at you. But do we really? Let's just take a second. You're getting some creatures up now. They're nothing too scary, but, when this starts triggering things, that could be a problem. But I think the focus is to get, like we've always said, it's like focus on one within reason and go after them. Although you are at 40 life. I'm not, nope, gotta focus. They're both coming at you. Man, I don't want to lose my commander. Although there's nothing on it. I guess it doesn't matter at this point. We're not moving forward real. So yeah, I'll block one of them with the commander. It now costs 2 extra to cast, and 7 gets through. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it didn't go. Not looking too good for Kediss, but then again, I knew that going in because of how I designed it. So that's all we got over here. We're going to go ahead and pass. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Okay, this is going to be fun. We're going to tap white and 3 other to mutate the doggo into a catto, Cub Warden. So I'm casting a cat, so I'm going to make another dog. I don't know what kind of dog that is. It's got a weird backwards horn, but whatever. And when this creature mutates, create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. So this goes up to 4. Now 2 of those are summoning sick. This is not, and this is. But that's okay. Those lifelinkers we can hold back for right now. Pride Sovereign gets +1/+1 for each other cat you control. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, this is a 9/9. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. We're going to move to combat. I'm going to swing with a 3/5 at you, and I'm going to swing Pride Sovereign a 9/9 at you. Now, that's true. You do have the indestructible creature. That's unfortunate. But we're going to do it anyway. Oh, and I guess I should swing Miri so that we get that whole thing going. Whenever she attacks, each opponent can't block with more than one creature, which is fine. Miri's going to come at you. So there's nothing you can do about it. That's 3 damage to you. You've got a 3/5 and you have a 3/3. You're still at 40 life. You'd take that. 1, 2, 3. No big deal. But it is lifelink, so 1, 2, 3. Now the big stuff is the Pride Sovereign coming at you. You're going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to block with my Indestructible. Okay, cool. In response, I'm going to tap this for green and play Charge Through. Target creature gains trample until end of turn, and I draw a card, which is really the more important thing. So I draw the card. So it's still a 9/9 versus an 8/8, so you're only going to take one. But something got through. And now, because she's tapped, only one creature can attack me at any given time. That's all we can do here. We're going to go ahead and pass. All right. I'm liking what those two decks are doing. Those are both doing really well, considering that they're just built with what I had. I'm kind of happy with that. These two decks, I kind of anticipated them not performing as well, so, that's not a surprise. We're going to go ahead and Temple of the False Gods, which is definitely online. We will tap Temple and one other to play Battle Scarred Goblin. When it becomes blocked, it deals a damage to the creature blocking it. I really can't go in that direction because of the indestructible 8/8. Going this way would just get stack blocked. Going this way is kind of insult to injury and leaving myself open because it's like, oh yeah, well I can kill you, but that's, regardless of trying to keep the game moving, it doesn't seem to make any sense to me because, this player, regardless of how, they started to do some stuff, but it's like they're falling behind. You don't want to dogpile on them, no offense there, Rin and Seri, but for no reason. They're not the threat. So why worry about them? These two are the threat. You can't do anything. Hold back and make sure you have blockers. We're going to go ahead and pass. I do still have 2 soldiers at least. I'm going to play a little mountain for turn. We'll go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4 to recast Kediss. And I still have 5 mana open. Yeah, we'll totally do this. We'll tap 1, 2, and discard a mountain to play Thrill of Possibilities. Draw 2 cards, 1 and 2. Now we're cooking with gas. Well, sort of. We're going to tap 2 to play Trailblazer's Boots, but unfortunately I don't have enough mana to actually equip it. Still not going to get us anywhere. But that's what you want to see, is equip that, and then swing, and then beef him up real fast to deal some damage. I don't think he's going to get there. He's not going to, but we'll see. My instinct is to swing with this to try and trigger and get some more blockers. But at this point, no one is really open enough to make sense on that. Just everyone can destroy it. So I guess even at this point, we're going to have to hold back. It is a 3/4, but plenty of stuff to stack block. Stack block. Doesn't even need stack block because it's got an 8/8. So we'll go ahead and pass. Now, hopefully, the thought process is, from this deck's perspective, do you leave them alone because now this is a threat? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you can continue to, and definitely kill this person at some point, but you're gonna leave yourself open over here. And only one creature can attack because of this, so this is going to hinder this character. So we probably want to shift gears and start dealing with this. So untap, upkeep, draw. No lands. We're going to start by tapping 3. Garruk's Uprising. When it enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. I do. Cool. And then creatures you control have trample. Awesome, because now the 8/8 has trample, and now these 7/7s have trample, which are now going to be more than that because I just drew a land. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are 8/8s with trample, just like you. Just like their big brother. And whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield, draw a card. All right, we're now going to tap 1, 2, 3 to play Band Together. Up to 2 target creatures you control each deal damage equal to their power to another target creature. A bit of an overkill, but we need to be able to swing. So we're going to say both trees are going to deal their damage to Mirror. Blow it up, kaboosh, because now we can attack with more than one creature. Still have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana left. You know what? I don't really have too many real targets, except for over there, and it feels like unnecessary overkill to play the card in my hand, which is Return to Earth. You can destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Are there even any enchantments out, maybe? No. It's all just artifacts at this point, except for on my board state. I have an enchantment. But, so, obviously the real target would be Trailblazer Boots or Hall of Triumph. Those should be the two. But, they're really not that much of a threat. So, why? It'd be better to, take out something over here You know what? They don't have much land, so I think blowing up their arcane signet is a smart move to slow them down from playing multiple cats and dogs. All right, so that's all we can play. Now we're gonna move to combat, and everything has trample. This is an 8/8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Even if you stack block it, they're all gonna die, and mine won't. So we'll send one that way. We'll send one that way. And well, yeah, that's intelligent. Send the indestructible one your way. Because if you stack block it, it won't matter, but it's trample. That's, wow, man. I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised. Like, Big Green Stompy is like the baby version of Magic. It's like so obvious and everyone knows how to build it. It's clearly, it is not hard to build when I built it out of just what I had. Like, imagine if I actually started doing some research and looking up some different cards and stuff where you get more utility and, you know, a couple better mana rocks or whatever, you could be like, I could have like, really it's the card draw. If I just dumped, a couple really good green card draw spells in here, I should be like throwing down lands and throwing down giant creatures left and right. But still happy with it. It's still cool to see it work, right? So with the buff over here, it's one, so that's like 4 damage, right? Because there's two of them, so they're 2/2, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 9 damage. So I could block and kill the tree folk, but it would kill everything except for one of the soldiers, because obviously I get to distribute the damage. So I would kill these things and, uh, you know, one of the soldiers. So all he would have left would be a 1/1 soldier. But I would lose the tree folk, and he would have to recast his commander again. Or I could take 8 damage and try and do some stuff on my turn. But so from this perspective, I think I will actually just take the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From that perspective, I guess I would probably take it as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not a great idea. This over here, though, we really can't. I guess we're gonna have to stack block to try and kill the tree folk so that he's got one less giant thing on the field. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9 damage blocking your 8/8. So this is gonna die, but he's gonna kill everything except for, because like 2 damage, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the final one, yeah. So I think that's probably the way you gotta play it out to try and lower this guy. Um, we took that damage, took the damage, blocked. Okay, so there's no end step triggers, right? I didn't play any other creatures to draw cards and stuff, so we're gonna pass. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Oh, that's a fun one. I forgot that was in there. Let's see though. Okay, but now you are pretty wide open, which is good. But I can only do one thing. You know, they both kind of do the same thing, so that works. I mean, the Lost Arcane Signet is bad, but it wouldn't have allowed me to play two things like I wanted to anyway, so I think this is probably the better play overall. We're gonna one white. Did I say that was white? I said that was red. Huh? I can't actually play this, so that's not good. Okay, then we gotta do it the other way around. Green and two others. It's an instant, so we're gonna move to combat. I'm going to swing Rin and Seri at you along with Pride Sovereign, and then I think I'll send all 4 cats at you just to try and get some life gain. So there you go. Okay, blockers. Are you gonna block with? I would probably block with her because I don't need the mana right now. So I would block the commander damage and take the 4 other cats. So 4, 5, 6, 6 on that. So 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So I think something must have died. So it is an 8/8 unless I miscalculated last time, which I could have. So it's an 8/8 coming in. But then I'm going to tap it to play Wild Size. It gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn and draw a card. Card draw is one of the real things I really wanted, but it's also now 10-10. So you're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess, well, I guess the smart thing would be to have blocked that in the first place. I don't know why I said. I was like, oh, don't want the commander damage, but that's stupid. Azusa would have blocked the Pride Sovereign, which means 2 of that less would have gone through. All right. But you would have then taken 4 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's actually worse for you, I think. But then he's going to be like, yeah, I don't care. I'll take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't say anything at you. So, all right. I'm going to play Reliquary Tower that I just drew. Unfortunately, that's not the right color I need, and it's not. There's nothing that's 2 drops. Ah, shoot. Now realizing that I don't think I have. I'm pretty sure I declared red when I cast this. I need some way to. I actually, when I was at the Baltimore thing, I know someone had just little, almost like poker chips, but they were smaller, probably from like bingo or something of colors, and that's all. That's how they denoted on these manor gates what the opposite color was. So I need to try and pick up something similar to that because that's a smart idea. The point being, I don't think I could have mutated Warden because he's 2 white. It's the same cost. It's 4 to cast him and 4 to mutate him, but it's 2 white instead of 1 white, and I don't have 2 white. Oh, but I did have the Arcane Signet. Phew! Okay. We're good, guys. We're good. It wasn't that big of a screw up, or at all. It wasn't a screw up. So that's good. All right. I'm happy about that. Hopefully I used that, or at least it was on the field so we can say I used it. But that's everything for this turn. We're going to go ahead and pass. Untap, upkeep, draw, command tower. Hey, an actual amass thing. So we're going to tap 2 to play Mordor Muster. You draw a card and you lose a life. Boom and boom. And then amass Orcs 1. So haha, there's my little orc. Orc from orc, as it were. And that goes there. I will tap this for 3 red to play Command Sphere. Commander's Sphere. I'll actually go ahead and straight sacrifice Commander Sphere just to draw a card. That sounds good. We're going to tap 2 to play Morgul Knife Wound on your Life's Web. Enchant the creature gets -3/-0 and has at the beginning of your upkeep, exile this creature unless you pay 2 life. Ah, getting around that indestructible. Saka. Saka on that. What else do we have? They're tapped down. So I believe we will, in fact. Oh, wait. Sorry. I'm already forgetting because I haven't done it yet. I'm forgetting triggers. So if 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on an army, goblin or orc, you put that many +1. So it's actually now a 2/2. And when another creature you control dies, okay. But still, that's now a 2/2 army instead of a 1/1. Very nice. I will go ahead and tap 1 to equip Haunted Cloak to you. I really want this to be on that, but it's not big enough at this point. So it's Trample, Vigilance, and Haste. And then I'm going to tap the last 3 mana with 1 floating. And it is an instant, so we'll go to combat. It's Vigilance, so I'll have to turn it. 3/3 at you. You have no blockers, so in response to no blockers, tapping to 1 floating. Play Gimli's Fury. Target creature gets +3/+2 until end of turn. If it's legendary, it also gains trample, which it is legendary, but it already has trample. So it's 3. So it is now a 6/5. It's going to hit you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As I said, you have no open blockers. So good. I could have swung other places, but I don't think I really care at this point. I mean, I could have swung both of these over here for a paltry 2 to 4 damage. Not the concern. And we want blockers up for whenever this starts swinging in other directions. Pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. We'll play a mountain for turn. I need 6 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to recast my commander. And then I can tap to give it the island walk, or the non-basic land walk, but that's not really a big deal. And that actually wouldn't even help with you because you don't have non-basics in the two monocolors, because why would they? So I guess what we'll do instead is 1, 2, 3, 4, and play Solemn Simulacrum, or Sad Robot as everyone likes to call him. When he enters the battlefield, search for a basic land card, put on the battlefield tapped. We'll do so, because we definitely do want more lands, but also a good shuffle never hurts because we need to get some more burn spells. I keep calling them burn spells, pump spells, or equipments or something. So this is the only thing getting the Hall of Triumph buff. You know what? I will sack Commander's Field over here to draw a card. All right, that's something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can play it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To play Dragon Wing Glider for Meriden. I believe that makes some sort. I don't have it offhand. It basically makes a soldier that this gets equipped to, and then it costs 5 to equip it to something else. But the equipped creature gets +2/+2, and it has flying and haste. So now you can see where I'm going with it, because like, cool. Well, not on the thread, but like on the Kediss, okay, now it's flying and haste, and it's got 2, stuff like that. Well, just to say it's on a 1/1. I'm not going to bother making another token. But I guess I should, just in case. Yeah, like I said, I don't remember what it is. It's a warrior or a soldier or some such. Who cares? But that is all we can do. But all right, that was pretty solid. I mean, the deck's not doing horrible per se. It just needs to, I need to hit some more card draw and just get some better stuff out. But whatever. It's all we can do. We're gonna pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Okay, we only have these things now. I should put this here for upkeep because at the beginning of my upkeep, exile this creature unless you pay 2 life. I will. Ooh, I'm down to 8. How the heck did I get down to 8? Oh, I took all that damage from him. Yeah. Um, and it's getting -3, so it's only a 5/8 at this point with trample. Probably not that big a deal. I guess we will go ahead and exile. You get this back, and then we will draw per turn, so I no longer have an upkeep trigger. Oh man, I really want to play this, but it would be incredibly dumb to play it now. All right, so we'll play the other thing that I've had for quite some time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To play Bookworm, a 7/7 with trample. When Bookworm enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. 1, 2, 3. Draw a card. I can pay 3 to put Bookworm from your graveyard into your library, third from the top. Also, though, when a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield, I draw a card. Boom. Okay, not super helpful. Both of those draws were lands. I'm going to go ahead and Terramorphic Expanse just so I can get another card out of there to try and get us to some bigger stuff. But as you can see, I mean, pretty solid, not solid card draw, but, decent with that out of the field. And that gets you a card and some life, so that's pretty good. 2 mana is not enough to play anything. And now, while my creatures do have trample, I've got a bunch of crap coming at me now, and I need some blockers. Although, if he swung everything, I would die no matter what. And he currently only has 2 blockers up. But see, it's one of those situations. It's like there's really no anything to do. You obviously go out swinging, which is cool, but literally, what the biggest things would be this. I block that thing, and I block that. That's still 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I wouldn't die, but I would almost die. Well, I guess in that case, I guess we should leave it. So yeah, okay. We wouldn't die, although anyone else could then finish us off. And he could finish us off. Yeah, it's always very tough in that situation. Like, what do you guys do when you're faced with this, where it's like the game's still going, there's a chance, but it's like you're really, really low, You only have this. They're big, great creatures, but this one can't go yet, and this one's only, not enough to kill anybody, even that one who was going to die early. If we swing with this one creature, we're going to die on the crackback. But if we don't, we just simply die on this turn as opposed to this turn. So what's the difference? Right? And I think that's probably the answer. We're just going to go. We're going to swing 8 damage at you. You're probably going to be like, you know what? Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still got the most life on the table. And that's all you can do. Pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. I think we will tap these two to play Explore. You may play an additional land this turn and you draw a card. Now, I haven't played any lands, and that was not one. What do we got? 1, 2, 3. Oh, dang it. If I had gotten lands when I should have, I could have played that and probably won the game right there. But we are not there. So we'll tap 1, 2, 3, taking the damage so we can get a green to play Snake Umbra. Enchant creature. Enchant the creature gets +1/+1 and has whenever this creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't have trample, so he can just block it. So what do we need? He's got one blocker, so let's say he blocks with that. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So swinging everything would kill him with one extra, but leaving us wide open to a crackback from both of those. Not the brightest idea. But then again, like I guess it kind of is, because he could start going off again with all that mana and stuff. We don't know what he's got in his hand, although he probably would have played it. But darn, darn, darn. Yeah, I guess that's what we have to do. We're gonna have to go balls to the walls, boys. Swing everything. He's going to block this, so we don't get the card draw. But we're gonna gain 4 life. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's something. So then again, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There you go. That's surprising. I really thought that was going to be the winner because of just how well it was doing and how easy the deck is. But shows you, again, we need that card draw to get more stuff in hand faster. Um, but all right, you are done for right now, my friend. Sorry about it, but now you are wide open, and you're going to go ahead and pass. But you got 32 life, so it's not too bad. Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm actually hellbent right now. I think I should. I thought I had more. I thought I had a card somewhere, but I guess not. Yeah, that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, and tap Karn's Bastion to proliferate. So we'll put a +1/+1 counter. Choose any number of permanents in a players, then give each another counter of the kind. So it's going to be putting a +1/+1, but because it's that, it's actually going to go up to a 2. So now, oh no, like yeah, tempting to swing everything in here. Well, let's see what we got damage-wise. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 damage over there. And he's got that giant old thing that's going to come cracking back. So we don't want to swing everything. But I do think we want to swing these two. Well, that's vigilance too. So we definitely want to swing that because it's vigilance. There we go. So 3 and 4, so 7 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, second main phase, we're going to tap this for 3 red mana to play War Elemental. So 1/1, whenever War Elemental comes into play, sacrifice it unless an opponent was dealt damage this turn. Whenever damage is dealt to an opponent, put that many +1/+1 counters on War Elemental. All right. So we got 3 blockers, 4 blockers actually, so that's not too bad. I will go ahead and pass. What can you do over here, my young friend? Draw for turn. Right. See, that's the thing. It's still going to take another turn past this to get the equipment on him. Paying 2 and then 4 for the tax, and then 2 to actually play him. Redis comes in. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, whoa, easy. All right, so we're going to pay 2 to put the Trailblazer boots on him for all the good that'll do. And then we will tap one to play Wayfarer's Bauble, but I can't even crack it. I'm going to move to combat and go ahead and swing these two at you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, 6. 6 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not too shabby. And then we will pass. All right, Rin and Seri. What can you do? You got potential. Let's see some swinging. Path of Ancestry, but wait, do I have any better lands? No, and it comes in tapped. Awesome. But I think this will be it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just enough. Oh yeah, we got it. This is game, baby. Way to go, Rin and Seri. Let's see it. It's not an instant, so we gotta play it. 1, 2, 2 green, hurting myself, and then 3 others for overwhelming stampede. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample and get +X, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. He gets them for every other cat. So 4, 5, 6. He is a 8, 9. He is now or up to again a 9, 9. So all of my creatures are getting +9, and they have trample. You have 2 creatures up. So if I sent 40 damage your way, -4, so 36 damage. You block 2 of them, they're 9 9s, you're at 16, that's 18 damage, you're dead. And then I just swing everything else at you. Because it's 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's game. Boom! Well, wait a second. Let's not get overhyped and stuff, right? Because we do actually have quite a few blocking creatures. It might you just, and he's at 28 life, so it might just be under, and I'm an 18. This could, wow, that would, I don't know. It'd kind of suck if the orcs won it out for such a lame way, but, I mean, you gotta be careful. So let's do the math. We are sending these 4 that way, and they are lifelink. Never mind. That's the key. These are lifelink, so no matter blocked or not, oh, and they have trample. So it doesn't even matter if he blocks them. We're gaining, you know, we're gaining 36 life. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, another 36 damage towards you. That might not kill you, but we're going to have so much life that we're probably going to be okay. And this thing does have lifelink as well. We may have missed a lifelink queue off of that. Point being, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can't even stack block to kill anything. So we would just put 1 in front of each of them. So 9 damage here, 6 gets through. 7 gets through, 7 gets through, 8 gets through. Oh my gosh. Exactly 28 damage gets through, even with the blockers. That is crazy. Oh my gosh, no. Stupid. I'm saying they're all 9 9s, but they're getting +9. So these are actually 10 10s. This is an 18 18. And yeah, so I don't know why I was even hesitating. So stupid. Let's give it a pause. More than enough damage to kill you. They're both dead. Kaboosh. And I'm not even going to do the negatives, but they're crazy. All right, way to go, Rin and Seri. Didn't have as many cats and dogs as I would have liked, but it still made a decent amount of tokens. So I'm very pleased with that. And, it didn't even get the buffs out like I wanted because I had Glorious Anthem I couldn't play because I didn't have enough white, and I have actually everything else I have in my hand really wasn't super helpful, but very happy with that. All right, there you go. Rin and Seri is your first winner of the, low grade wars or whatever I'm going to call them. I don't even know. Um, and of course, the obvious, easy mono green Stompy deck did very well. It just needs to be a little bit faster. Even though it was crazy fast with the lands, it needs to be a little faster on the monsters. But they're so big, it makes sense. You can only play, 1 9 drop creature even with a ton of ramp. So it did well. Um, Again, though, that has potential. It took it way too long just because of I didn't get the right stuff. But as you saw, now that I had Trailblazer boots and this flying and +2/+2 equipment to get Kediss basically unblockable, and then I just need two or three pump spells, make him, oh, he's above 10. He hits you for 10 commander, everybody else takes 10 damage, and I can do it again, hopefully like one or two more times, boom, everyone's dead. The orcs, again, I just didn't get any of the mass out, and I didn't get any other spells really. All the decks kind of ramped really well, surprisingly, um, but we'll see what happens in the next game. But I think it's fun. I think so far these are interesting decks. What do you guys think? How would you play these decks better once you actually had the cards for them? What kind of themes would you suggest putting in them? You're like, oh, Kediss is a weird idea, but you might want to look into these cards, or oh, if you're going big stompy, you have to have this card when you find the upgrade, that kind of stuff. Like I said, I went to the Command Fest it was my very first Command Fest in Baltimore. It was a lot of fun. Went with Dell. We played a ton of games separately and together. I played about 13 games over the 3 days, which doesn't sound like a lot, and it kind of wasn't. I should have tried to get a few more in. But because it was my first one, I was trying to like see the handful of artists they had and get some cards signed and just talk to the artists a little bit. And I'm not the vendors were interesting, but it was really just cards, and I didn't really know what cards to go buy because all the singles. But I got some packs. I got some Sunday because nobody wants to take all that crap home with them. So the one booth was selling all their dragon shields for like $7 a box, brand new. And I'm like, I'll take. Actually, these are all like three of these decks are sleeved with the three packs I bought. You know, normal dragon shields are like $12 or up. So I'm like, that was a no-brainer. And I bought some packs, didn't get any really good cards, and I got two pre-release kits from Lord of the Rings, and I didn't get the Orcish Bowmaster, which everyone loves, and I would have loved to put into my Shieldred deck. But I got some cool looking cards, a couple full arts from the pre-releases, and then you know, like these cards that the amass cards that are in there. So it was a really fun time. I would probably definitely do it. I would probably do it again for a command fest like that. Either that doesn't have to be in Baltimore again, but I would go again because it was fun. I got to meet some other content creators. I got to meet Mana Curves Chase. She was there, got a picture with her and stuff, and that was fun. I get to meet a couple other creators that were there, some new people to follow. So all around, it's a good time. If you haven't gone and you like Commander, I suggest it. If there's one near your city, go check out Command Fest in the future. You don't have to spend too much money if you just go for the day, take some of your favorite decks, play with some people, get to see what it's like. But that's all for me. I will see you next time.